What is going on, guys? Matt O'Leary here with a training camp recap for today. I almost said September. I wish it was September for football season. Oh boy, focus on Matt. July 27th, 2023. We're going to get into today's biggest storylines. Remember, Matt O'Leary NY on social media and also the Just Jets podcast, wherever it is that you get your podcast. Okay, so unfortunately, the big storyline and what everyone is watching is Garrett Wilson. Why? Not necessarily for a positive thing. Unfortunately, Garrett Wilson limped off the field. It looked like he rolled his ankle on the play. There are a few videos. Thank you to all the fans who are there taking videos. I love it. I'll be there on Sunday with Ryan and Green Bean. I'm really amped up about it. But Garrett Wilson limps off the field and would not return to practice. We'll see if he's good to go for tomorrow or if they're going to decide to take it a little bit on the slower side with him, which is totally understandable if that's the case. If they want to take it slow. He's had a good camp so far. He's made some big plays with Aaron Rodgers, and you don't want to risk it. If you want to take him back slow, I don't expect to see a ton of him in preseason games anyway. So really not that concerned at this point, with the season still over a month away. I think he should be fine long-term, but just something to keep a note on in the immediate future. Obviously, recording this right after practice ended, so we haven't heard Robert Saleh speak yet on it. Maybe that's on me. My bad. Maybe I should have waited, but I just kind of wanted to get this out and get my reaction out. But yeah, I wouldn't be all that concerned with it. I don't expect the Jets to be either. My next note is just how dominant Quinn Williams is in the run game. I know he put up some gaudy pass rush numbers with 12 and a half sacks, I believe he finished with last year. Just absolutely monster season from our guy, Quinn Williams, but he is stellar against the run as well. And it's like every single day he's making up a play, blowing up a play behind the line of scrimmage, which is really, really impressive. And I think on early downs, pairing him with Al Woods makes a ton of sense. I mean, Al Woods is just a big body SOB who's going to take up some space and get after the quarterback a little bit more in this system than he did with Seattle. But I really look at him as a run stuffer. Putting him next to Quinn Williams, good luck trying to run on the interior of that defense. My goodness gracious. And then you have CJ Mosley and Quincy Williams running around with their hair on fire at the second level. Whew. Love that. Everyone talks about the Jets pass rush and their corners, rightfully so. That is their strength. But I think sneaky, the interior defensive line is going to be really, really good against the run and make it difficult on teams to run against them. So that stood out to me today and is something to keep note of going forward. Mekhi Becton was back practicing, but it seemed like he was limited as he wasn't really involved in team stuff. So maybe they are really just keeping him on a pass count or pitch count, whatever you want to call it, with the amount of snaps that he plays in the preseason and training camp. We'll see if he gets any action a week from today. I can't believe it's a week from today that we'll be in Canton, Ohio, playing football or watching the New York Jets play football against the Cleveland Browns, things you absolutely love to see. I think that it's okay to bring him on slow. I've talked about this in past training camp recap videos that I've done so far this week. Last year, it felt like they were rushing him a little bit, his words. And he felt like that was a big reason for why he was injured. So I think the knee, obviously, they're taking it slow with him, and they'll figure out the right regimen to get him back. CJ Uzomah was back today. He was activated off the PUP list. We'll see how big of a role he has this year. Last year, really didn't play all that much early on in the season. Second half of the season was used significantly more. Had a couple of touchdown receptions. I don't think he'll put up monster numbers, but I would expect him to be in the mix, especially closer to the red zone. Aaron Rodgers loves his tight ends in the red zone, but I think Jeremy Ruckert could still really make a push up this depth chart. I would imagine Tyler Conklin's still tight end 1, but I think Ruckert could make that push to tight end 2. If not, you have CJ, who's a veteran, who is someone that could be a reliable set of hands in the red zone. As I said, a really good blocker. So glad to get the veteran leadership back with Uzomah. Might not be like the sexiest name, the biggest weapon. He's probably like their seventh best target in the pass game. But if you could do a lot worse than CJ as your 7th best pass catching target. And last but certainly not least is Bam Knight. I want to show some love to my guy Bam Knight. He had a great practice today, had a couple of touchdowns, and earlier today we found out that Dalvin Cook is going to be meeting with the New York Jets. He's flying in. He's meeting with them over the weekend, going to spend a lot of time at the facility on Saturday. If they sign him, that means guys like Bam Knight or maybe Michael Carter, they could move him via trade, I would think. But Bam Knight's roster spot very much could be in jeopardy if they were signing someone like Dalvin Cook. That would bum me out. I'm a Bam Knight guy. I was a big fan of him as an undrafted free agent last year. Came in, was rookie of the week 1 week, had some, really nice plays and was good early on in the season. Unfortunately, struggled down the stretch for this team as all the Jets running backs did and the offense in general did down the stretch with just an absolutely abysmal offensive line in front of them. I think that was more the issue with just how banged up they were on that line rather than Bam Knight just getting figured out or not being as good as what we thought. So I would be bummed if Bam Knight ends up not being on this roster if they're bringing in a Dalvin Cook, but I get why the Jets could want to bring in a veteran experience and a veteran presence there. So those are my biggest takeaways from training camp today. What are yours? Sound off in the comments below. Once again, I'm Matt O'Leary. I'll catch you next time.